Hey, I'm Ron Drotos from keyboardImprov.com, and thanks for joining me for day 15 of my 31-day Jazz Piano for Beginners Workout Challenge. And today's lesson will be on how to learn the jazz standard, So What? And if I've done my math right, when we get halfway through today's lesson, we're going to be halfway through the 31-day workout, which is really just 10 hours and 20 minutes of jamming. I mean, it's something we should be doing all the time anyway, and I'm thrilled that so many of you are doing this. People, leave a comment. Let me know how you, let all of us know how you're doing. People said that, some of you have improved more in this half a month than you have previously in terms of playing melodically, connecting with your ear. That's very gratifying to me because that's really the way to go. So I'm setting my timer for 20 minutes, and today we're going to learn So What. The tune So What was recorded on Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, Gil Evans on piano, and this is 1959. And Miles had come up through the bebop era, playing with Charlie Parker, etc., very complex music, and a lot of complex chord changes. And what happened was, what was very fresh at the beginning of the bebop era, playing changes like this, blues for Alice. After a while, in Miles Davis' opinion at least, people were just starting to run the chord changes, and he got sick of doing that. Like, I've got to always follow these complex chord changes. And he, I don't want to say rebelled, but went in a different direction. And he started playing over just one chord. He was influenced by his friend Gil Evans, the arranger, in this way. So he said if we just have one chord, it forces us to be melodic and to think what comes next, right? He had to work harder to do that because he'd already played all the bebop. For most of us, it's the other way around. It's kind of easy to get started on one chord, and then we learn the bebop changes. But remember, Miles came up at a very different time when you were just plunged into the world of bebop and all these hard chord changes, and he had to learn it very quickly. So he was yearning for the freedom that modal playing, it's called modal playing, when you're playing over one scale or one mode. So What, the tune, has two chords. That's it. It's A, B, A, 8 measures each for a 32-bar song form. And the A sections are D minor 7th, which we know pretty well by now, D, F, A, C. And then the bridge for 8 measures is E flat minor 7th. So it's E flat, G flat, B flat, D flat. So in other words, every note is just a half step higher. So just do that a couple times. Play D minor 7, and now move up to the black notes that are to the right, higher, a little higher up the keyboard, just a half step for each white note. Now the interesting thing is, from when we're little kids playing piano or whenever we started, we're playing mostly on the white notes, right? But the black notes feel a little foreign to us if we just play it sometimes the first time, but it's just about living there. And the interesting thing is, since So What is A, B, A, right? 3 A sections and only 1 B section. If you just play the tune through, you'll always play the D minor part 3 times to every 1 time you play the E flat. So what you have to do is practice the bridge a lot on its own to make up for that. So we're not gonna count measures or anything. That's hard to do on a tune like this. I think I used to get lost for about 5 years on So What. But basically, we're gonna start with D minor 7, and then we'll go to the E flat minor. So we're gonna play the D minor 7th in our left hand, and we're gonna play all white notes. And D is our center of gravity. Okay? So white notes, but D is our center of gravity, not C. 1, 2. So you can play whatever rhythms you want in the left hand, or just hold them down, or you can just do whatever you want. Pianist's choice. You can play the left hand, explore chords and rhythms. You could just play the right hand, or you can do both. You could even improvise the same thing in both hands. You can do that if you want. 1 or 2 octaves apart. Pianist's choice. Yours. Here we go. 1, 2. You know what to do. Now we're going to go to the E flat minor 7. It's all black notes. E flat, G flat, B flat, D flat. And we're just going to play with the black notes. It forms a pentatonic scale. Just like some of us did when we were kids. You know, things like that, or picking out melodies. Pentatonic scale, 5 notes. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I played an F. Didn't mean to do that. Just, see, I was following my ear, but I don't want you to do that yet. Just the black notes, especially if you're just getting this. If you already know some of the other possibilities of scales, you can use that. But let's just do the black notes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Simplest way to start playing So What, and it's such a classic tune. If you haven't really heard the Miles Davis version, check it out. It's on Kinda Blue. And if you've heard it, listen to it again. Listen to it and try to follow the solo lines. See when they're going up, when they're going down, how long their phrases are they repeating things? Get really analytical about it. At the same time, you just take it in. So basically for the D minor 7, we're playing all white notes. For the E flat minor 7, we're playing all black notes. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to accompany. You can solo, and if you want, play the chords in the left hand. And I'm not going to count right now. I'm just going to hold out each chord as long as I want, so we get about equal practice in both. And I'll say white notes, black notes, or maybe D minor 7, E flat, something like that. So we're starting with D minor 7, white notes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. the chords down, occasionally play it again. Lots of things you can do with a play along like this, right? You could look at it 2 times in a row, 3 times in a row, try something different each time, really. So a couple of things I was thinking of. One is that there's a great story that, and I forget the pianist's name, but there's a French pianist who played with Miles Davis. Miles had gone over to Paris to record the soundtrack to a movie. I can't pronounce the French, but it's basically March to the Gallows, whatever. And they played jazz, and it was with the French rhythm section. And the chord was D minor at one point, D minor. And in rehearsal, Miles walked over to the pianist, and he said, "Play this voicing. D, E, F, G, A. Give it a try." Wonderful, right? So evocative. It's like bells, just all the overtones. Just listen to it. Again, that's the Gil Evans influence. And contemporary classical music. Gil and Miles would listen to Ravel and composers like that, a lot of the Impressionists and others. And Gil Evans would write things like that for his arrangements for Miles. In Porgy and Bess, Miles Ahead, Sketches of Spain. And then earlier in The Birth of the Cool, Gil had arranged Boplicity and Moon Dreams. So check those out. Moon Dreams is unbelievable. And then the famous ballad from Miles Ahead was My Ship by Kurt Weill. And listen to the voicings. You'll hear some stuff like that. Really wonderful. But it's not a voicing we learn right away, right? But it's great. Just 5 notes in the scale. All right, so we're going to continue alternating D minor to E flat minor. And we're going to do it in 8 measure sections. You can play the left hand the whole time if you want, but we're going to trade 4s for the right hand. So on D minor, I'm gonna improvise for 4 measures, and then you do it, and then we'll go right to E flat minor and improvise 4 measures each. So it makes 8 measures. 1, 2, 1, 2, D minor. D minor. what, right? We're getting a good handle on it. We'll come back to this tomorrow and play it within the actual form of the song, the AABA format. So, hey, thanks for being here. I'm loving this. So I appreciate it, and it helps my playing. And hey, we're doing something together. And you know, let us know in the comments. It's really nice to see how some of you are commenting and liking other people's comments, because it's support. Piano can be a solitary endeavor, and this is helping to cure that and give us all motivation, inspiration. So enjoy every step of the journey. There's some links for you to click if you're interested, another video you might like, and some lessons at keyboardimprov.com down below in the description. Thanks again, and see you tomorrow.